This is the newest, most exciting entertainment show where nothing is off limits.
We bring you real, authentic, and raw conversations.
Enjoy good vibes, fashion, and lifestyle from your favorite celebrities.
Fun, trending topics, games, and educative segments.
Every Tuesdays from 3 p.m. and Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. With me, LAVIN NYAGOWA
and Hazel Jeru.
Only on The Unfiltered. Good evening. Apologies for the late delivery. Welcome to today's news recap. My name is LAVIN NYAGOWA. Now let's start over with the hustler budget. All eyes were yesterday on Treasury CS Professor Njuguna Ndung'u as he presented the Kenya Kwanza 2023-2024 budget in Parliament. According to the budget, the projected revenue and expenditure for the coming financial year is 3.6 trillion Kenya shillings. However, reactions from Kenyans have been mixed, with many decrying the high cost of living. The country's inflation rate is still on the rise, and many Kenyans are concerned that the budget will only add to their financial woes. Ian Masharia with more details.
As the Kenya Kwanza government prepares to read its first budget on June 15th, all eyes are on the CS of Finance and Economic Planning, Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, as Kenyans witness the unveiling of the financial budget aimed to shape Kenya's economy in the coming fiscal year. In tandem with the budget announcement, the finance bill, which successfully sailed through under debate in the National Assembly, is set to play a crucial role in determining the financial policies and regulations that will accompany the proposed budget. The budget is expected to address various key business and economic sectors, including agriculture, healthcare, housing and settlement, technology and innovation, as well as support for small and medium-sized enterprises. As the government aims to boost these areas in line with its bottom-up economic model, the budget faces a challenging path ahead, with primary concerns being the current high costs of living, unemployment, and high taxation rates. Approached Kenyans on their expectations towards the financial budget in relation to the current economic times, and this is what they had to say.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa George Mutie, bodaboda operator hapa Thika. Hapa tuko hii area tunaitaka Githaine. Kuhusu hiyo budget yenye inasomwa, ile matarajio yangu na yenye nadhani ni ya Mkenya wote wa hadhi ya chini, tunaweza kuwa tunatarajia bei ya bidhaa zishuke. Kama saizi fuel imetusukuma sana, tutapata kila Mkenya juu amefinywa na hii gharama ya maisha ya bidhaa zote mpaka hizi basic kama unga nini. Utapata saizi hata tumeluzi customers kwa sababu mtu anaona kama ni distance tukua tunamlipisha 50 bob, mafuta imepanda kiasi kwamba uwezi mpeleka na hiyo 50 bob, na pia na yeye hajaongezewa mshahara pali anafanya, so amefinywa juu zile bidhaa muhimu anatumia mpaka anaonelea aende mguu.
Stage attendant tazanini kitraverse choice. Alafu mimi maoni yangu kuhusu budget, nilikuwa naona yani VAT ya mafuta ikiweza punguzwa bado iko sawa. Not only la VAT, yani ni vitu mob. Kwa wa Kenya wanateseka tu kiasi.
Mimi naitwa, jina langu ni Karanja. Samuel Karanja Mugai. Na mkaaji wa Thika. Budget itakusoma, hatujui kama ni kuangusha itaangusha au kuongeza itaongeza. Lakini ile shida tuko nayo maneno kitu yote iko juu. Kutoka mafuta ya kukula, mafuta ya taa au stima, yote gharama iko juu. Serikali ifunguze vitu, kwa maana itegemee mwananchi ndio dunia. Na ndio serikali, na serikali mwananchi akishimba ndio serikali inakuwa. Kwa maana hata kazi itafanyika na biashara itaendelea na wananchi watakuwa busy.
As Kenyans ready themselves for the unveiling of the first budget under the Kenya Kwanza government, hopes are now inclined towards primary concerns of high cost of living, with expectations set to align with the bottom-up economic model championed by President William Ruto. Reporting for TAS TV in Thika Town, Kiambu County, my name is Ian Macharia.
Thank you so much, Ian, for that very detailed information. Now, away from that, spouses of governors from the Lake Region Economic Bloc now want sanitary towels to be freely distributed, just like condoms, to improve menstrual health hygiene. The women said there is urgency in creating awareness for sanitary towels to be readily available to women and young girls in the country. They called on the government and relevant now state agencies to formulate policies to ensure sanitary towels are availed in all public institutions for free, just like condoms are put in public toilets and hotels.
What we are saying is that we normally have condoms in dispensers in toilets, public toilets, and even in hotels, like here. So we are saying that when we have condoms in public toilets, in dispensers, we are also requesting that we have sanitary pads in dispensers in every institution, in washroom, so that when people come to dispense and pick condoms, we should have even more sanitary pads in dispensers in toilets, because we need sanitary pads more than condoms. And we're saying that the cost of condoms is same as the cost of sanitary pads. So we cannot let our girls go without sanitary pads, yet we have condoms splashed everywhere in dispensers, in institutions, in hotels, and in public toilets. I think the problem basically is we prioritize condoms because of HIV and AIDS that time. But now we need to speak more about sanitary pads. We need to create awareness to everybody to understand that our girls need sanitary pads because of the stigma that goes with sanitary pads. If somebody soils her clothes, for example, if she's in school, then the stigma is too much, and then it makes them fail to go to school. So we want to create awareness about sanitary pads so that every girl should have sanitary pad to enable her to go to school so that she doesn't miss school. And we also we are trying to fight the stigma that goes with sanitary pads and girls soiling their clothes because of lack of sanitary pads. So we urge the government and everybody else to speak about sanitary pads, menstrual hygiene, because it's critical, and we want everyone to understand that having menstruation is not a crime. It's a biological function, a simple biological function that every girl has to go through. So we should stop the stigma and let us support the girls go back to school by giving them sanitary pads.
Sanitary towels in our toilets and wherever in public places, because what we forget is that the few pads that we give to the children when they are in school, they are also used by their mothers, their aunties, and by the time the girl is ready to use, they are all exhausted at home. So we can minimize that by providing the sanitary towels in our toilets and other public places so that more women can access other than targeting the teenage girls. And having this one will also enable the girls to be able to prioritize their life better.
Also, they can give us innovations on how best to manage menstrual health, considering that every lady or every girl who comes of age will have to go through menstruation. And in this country, very many children cannot afford, and rather not just children but even women cannot afford sanitary towels because of the costs. So today we are listening to young people who are presenting to us different kinds of sanitary towels that can be made and that probably could be affordable.
Let's now cross over to the education sector. The government finally released 24 billion school capitation funds to institutions 4 weeks after schools reopened. However, the funds are 4 billion shillings less than the figures that Education CS Ezekiel Machogu had promised to disburse. Josephine Nganga with that story.
The Ministry of Education has released 24 billion shillings capitation funds to primary and secondary schools, with warnings to principals against sending students home for not paying school fees. The amount is 4 billion short of what Education CS Ezekiel Machogu had promised to send to schools. This comes amid reports that schools had started sending learners home to collect school fees following delayed disbursement of funds.
Amount of money that the government is releasing this week in junior secondary and also in senior secondary is to a total of 28 billion.
Emuhaya MP Omboko Milemba, who is also the national chair of the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, said the CS had promised the National Assembly that shillings 28 billion would be sent to schools.
The CS promised Parliament that he'll be sending 28 billion Kenya shillings. But he fell short of 28 billion by about 4 billion. The actual money that was sent to schools, and this is very important for Kenyans to know, was 24 billion only. But the CS indeed lied to Parliament that he'll send 28 and he said send 24. So he needs to come out clearly and explain what really happened and why he lied to the House. Remember, Parliament is the House of Records. Schools
are now held between clearing old bills and meeting the current expenditure.
We are in an awkward situation because if you have not been given the funding from behind there, you know, even things like curricular activities and other activities, they rely on that funding. And the day schools, you can imagine where there is no payment for boarding money, the situation is even worse.
These erratic release of FSC makes our programs difficult to run, because even for last year, I know most schools have not even paid suppliers for their laboratory equipment, for their stationery, and yet, again, we are pushing them to supply us with laboratory equipment and reagents because we are starting exams. We are pushing stationers to give us because we are doing exams. So it becomes so difficult.
With term 2 of 2023 nearing midway, the government is still struggling to fund last year's projects. Reporting for TAS TV, I am Josephine Nganga.
Boresha Jamii initiative took to Kiandutu slums in Thika town to help fumigate the houses due to the increase of bed bugs within the slums. This move comes at a time when efforts to keep up good hygiene and sanitation in slums are being heavily prioritized as a way to fight the spread of diseases and illnesses in Kenya. Our reporter Anthony Ombui joined Boresha Jamii during the exercise, and here is his full report.
After struggling with bed bugs for a long time, Kiandutu residents now have the reason to smile.
Majina naitwa Hana Wairimu. Walikuwa wamekuja kupiga dawa juu ya kukuni. Ni mingi, mimi ni mgonjwa, sina kazi nafanya, ndio hata siwezi kununua hiyo dawa.
Mimi majina yangu naitwa Monica Nyambura. Naishi hapa Kiandutu. Mimi ni CHV hapa Kiandutu. Sasa nilionelea watu wakuje huku ili wao wakisaidia hiki kijiji. Kwa sababu hiki kijiji kuna watu wengi wako na shida. Mashida mingi ni ya kunguni, zinawakula usiku. Huku leo wamefanya vizuri kwa sababu ya kupigia watu dawa ya kunguni, kwa sababu Joshua alikuwa anasema yeye halali. Na wamefanya vizuri, kwa hiyo kazi wamefanya kupiga kunguni huku kwa hiki kijiji.
Majina yangu naitwa Joseph Irongo. Mimi nimetoka mtaa huu wa Kiandutu. Mimi shughuli leo nimeona watu wamekuja kupiga dawa ya kunguni. Juu huku watu wengi wako na hiyo shida ya kusumbuliwa na hizo kunguni. Ni kutoka kitambo huwa sasa inakuwa mingi, tunapiga dawa lakini haziishi kabisa.
Activity of fumigation was carried out by Boresha Jamii initiative, which was done for free.
I'm Beth Wangeshe Maina from Boresha Jamii initiative. Today we are in Kiandutu. We are doing fumigation. It's a project that we started because we found the gaps in the society that they're experiencing, and we've been doing other programs, but this was the most common thing that has been emphasized on for a very long period of time. Shahapa Judy is the place where we've been doing most of the activities, but right now we are going to different other places where we'll be fumigating. Kama sai tuko Makongeni tumeanza other projects, so when we are doing that we now head to fumigation because it's all about programs. There's one that starts na kuna nyingine inamaliza. A lot of people are embracing it because inaonekana it's something that it's a need. It was no longer a want. Right now it's a need from every personnel wa Kiandutu anahitaji fumigation, but I don't know why it's not being spoken about, because we find a lot of households hata zenye hatukuwa tumewa survey and we did the data collection are in need of this. We need to help the society. Zile vitu zenye tunaona ya kwamba kwa community juu to affect wengine, they are affecting those people, and as a nation, as also the people of Thika, we need to come up and find how we are going to be supporting these people.
Organization tags to improve the living standards of Kiandutu residents. The other areas targeted to benefit from fumigation exercises include Makungeni.
Kuambia hiyo kazi wanafanya waendelee tu na wasipuuze. Waendelee na kazi yao mzuri na Mungu awabariki. Tunawakaribisha kwa hii kijiji.
Naweza kuambia Mungu awabariki. Kwa hiyo roho amekuwa nao, hawatujuani na wamekuja kutusaidia. Wamefanya vizuri. Mungu awabariki. Kuja kutuangalia tu, mashida ni mingi.
Mimi ningewaambia Mungu awabariki na waendelee kujitolea juu hii mtaani watu wengi wanasumbuliwa na hizo kunguni. Wajitolee kwenda kila mahali wakisaidia watu kupiga dawa.
Reporting for TAS TV from Thika, my name is Anton Ombuyogechi.
Orthopedists have urged the government to remove the tax on the purchase of medical equipment to reduce the cost of treatment in the country. Speaking in Mombasa in a 5-day conference, the doctors have asked the government as well as private hospitals to invest in technology to improve service delivery in Kenya.
If you put tax on medical inputs, the cost will go up. If you put costs on rent, the cost will go up, because that's a cost on the hospital. The other thing that we need to do is do local manufacturing for the implants, for the inputs. That will definitely reduce costs. And the other thing that increases cost is advanced disease.
So that, with the help of the government intervening to help lower the costs that will be involved with regard to manufacturing, that will help bring down the cost. And as well, the taxation needs to actually be zero rated, if you ask me, with orthopedics. That will help as well with the management of these patients.
We have moved away from many open surgeries to the keyhole surgeries. Arthroscopies mainly. Now it is just a 1 centimeter incision, rather than before where we used to do some 10 centimeter incisions. Therefore the recovery is faster. There's saving in terms of cost, hospital stay and recovery. The other thing is the precision of diagnosis. With the new technology, we're able to make diagnosis cheaper, in a better way and faster.
Technology itself is helping reduce the operation time, especially with us, and minimizing equally the type of procedures that we are doing. So even in terms of healing, that is also coming down. The duration, the hospital stay duration is equally coming down, so the costs again come down in that line. And then the ability of the patient to be able to rehab and get back to work early and in good time, that also effectively brings down the costs.
Now we are going on a short commercial break. Remember, we still have more for you, so stay put.
What's your name?
My name is Kevin Kakum.
Kitui Francis.
From which school? Kenya Institute of Mass Communication.
Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. What did you learn while at TAS TV?
Improvement of my skills in graphics, such as motion graphics, video editing, photography, also communication skills. Camera operations, video editing, and improved my skills in graphic design.
Would you recommend anyone?
Yes, nilikuwa hapa TAS, skills zangu zili improve on communication with fellow co-workers and teamwork when doing certain projects. Yes, new skills in photography. Communication, I have built more in communications through interaction with other colleagues or people outside there.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your attachment at TAS TV?
7. 8.
Generally, what would you say about TAS TV?
Wow, it's amazing being here.
I think this is the best place to be. Yeah.
This is the newest, most exciting entertainment show where nothing is off limits.
We bring you real, authentic, and raw conversations.
Enjoy good vibes, fashion, and lifestyle from your favorite celebrities.
Fun, trending topics, games, and educative segments.
Every Tuesdays from 3 p.m. and Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. With me, LAVIN NYAGOWA
and Hazel Jeru.
Only on The Unfiltered. This is TAS TV News Recap. Now, away from that, let's talk about the next story. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leader Raila Odinga has threatened to lead Kenyans in protesting against the passage of the proposed Bill Finance 2023, which he terms as punitive and a step back in the country's efforts to end poverty. Mr. Odinga, who toured Toy Market in Kibra, which was raised down last Sunday, criticized key issues in the bill, including 16% taxation on petroleum products, the housing levy, and insurance compensation. Frederick Morara has more.
Azimio One Kenya coalition leader Raila Odinga was in Kibra, where he met the businessmen who lost a lot of property in the fire outbreak of Toy Market last Sunday. Odinga further took an opportunity to slam the Kenya Kwanza government over the controversial Kenya Kwanza finance bill.
Hiyo finance bill hiyo ni kuweka msumari ya mwisho katika jeneza ya maiti. Finance bill ikikuja hapa, Wakenya watakuwa maabusu ya kupiga ushuru peke yake. Hakuna mtu ambaye amekataza serikali kutoa ushuru. Tayari iko pale msingi ya kutoa ushuru. Serikali ya uhuru ilikuwa inatoza watu ushuru, na ilikuwa inafanya kazi, sikuwa inafanya kazi.
Odinga's message was against the Kenya Kwanza regime about the finance bill, where he alleged that if the government insists to pass the finance bill, then he will have no option but to lead Kenyans to the street to protest against the punitive tax proposals.
Watapitisha hiyo finance bill, sio? Watapitisha, sivyo? Hiyo itakuwa ni parapanda. Itakuwa ni parapanda. Mwanzo, mtakuwa mko tayari? Jamaa alikuwa naonya ati hakuna maandamano imekubaliwa, si bwana Kithure Kindiki. Katiba inasema ya kwamba wananchi ndio number 1. Wao ndio wako sovereign. Wako na haki ya kuchagua na kunyakua vile vile uwezo. Kwa hivyo Wakenya watatumia uwezo wao.
If Kenya Kwanza's regime to vote for the finance bill succeeds, Azimio leader now calls upon demonstrations again as he urges Kenyans to come out in large numbers to protest. Reporting for TAS TV, Thika Town, Kiambu County, my name is Murara Frederick.
Let's now have a look at agriculture and business. Now, Agra has launched its Kenya strategy to support the country's efforts to enhance food security and build the resilience of smallholder farmers by strengthening market systems. The new 5-year Kenya strategy aims to support smallholder farmers and enhance food security in line with Kenya's Vision 2030. Building on the successes and experiences of the Agra 2.0 strategy, this new strategy will help transform Kenya into a middle-income nation.
The strategy, I believe, is a combination of a realistic assessment of what Agra has done over the past 5 years and what needs to be done in the next 5 years towards transformation of the Kenyan agricultural sector, and how Agra can further collaborate with the actors in the Kenyan agricultural ecosystem and chart tangible action plans that arrive to the current realities of the country and the specific 47 counties.
So being able to understand what it takes to move the sector is extremely important. And that's where Agra's biggest edge, competitive edge is, because we look at so many things that make that sector difficult to move. And at the core of that, we see the access to technologies, access to knowledge, but also access to institutions that are able to deliver things.
Kakamega County has officially launched an anti-corruption committee to be led by the County Governor Fernandez Baraza. The committee is expected to fight the graft issue, considering that Kakamega County was recently ranked 6th in the country for corruption.
On our part, we've presented issues, pertinent issues that are affecting the county in service delivery. And one of the issues that has been raised was the issue of bursary. And you have given details on how the EACC will be involved in giving us guidelines on how bursary will be distributed in a free and fair manner to ensure that the beneficiaries are the people who are actually the needy cases.
The county is expected to offer services to the public. So it's a framework as the county is undertaking its roles and responsibilities. It's ensuring efficient and effective service delivery to the citizen. But it will be cascaded to lower levels. But for a start, we are starting with the top, which is led by the governor, the deputy, and the CECs.
Officials of the Embassy of Israel in Kenya are continuing their 2-day visit to Taita Taveta County to seek the best methods to develop agricultural projects. They have looked at water projects such as the Njoro Kubwa, Chala Lake, rice farming projects, and a banana factory in Taveta. The officials challenge the county to devise strategies that will improve the livelihood of farmers, including dealing with brokers from neighboring countries who are increasingly proving to be a hindrance to the production sector in the area.
The only problem that we are seeking from our donors, from the government, from the county, is that to help us, we people from this area, we only fail to have one problem. The water that drains from Mount Kilimanjaro on a slope end ends up landing here.
We are hoping that these follow-up projects or follow-up visits for the same, we wish them to be as soon as possible so that we can actually finish and see if there's any other thing that we left out that can start being done.
Let's organize a market. Let's make situations that before the season, before I transplanting the rice, I know what will be the price. I know some good buyer will take my product and I don't have to deal with all these broker and middle guys that just take all my profit.
Let's now cross over to the sports world. Let's get our weekly sports news highlights from our reporter Christine Mosioka.
5,000 and 1,500 meters world held recorder Faith Kipyegon has received a bunch of house keys and 5 million from the government. She has also made a reflection in State House in Nairobi, where she was accompanied by Fernando Manyala and others. They were being hosted by President William Ruto to celebrate their presence of champion. Faith Kipyegon broke 2-1 record in 1 week, and also Fernando Manyala was gifted 2 million by President William Ruto in State House.
This is part of our affordable housing program. This house in Park Road, if it was built under the normal program, a 3-bedroom house in Park Road would be anywhere between 15 and 20 million. But because we have decided as a government that owning a house should not be the privilege of the rich, it should be a necessity and a right to as many Kenyans as possible. This house has now been reduced to 6 million shillings, and that is what we are paying. And we have a whole write-up about this phase. We will make sure that other athletes either buy the houses affordably. If they do well like you, they also get a reward from the government of Kenya. We will be asking them going forward. They can ask for their reward in cash. They can also ask for their reward in kind, and we will facilitate both ways.
National team Harambee Stars takes off to Pakistan on Wednesday for friendly match before taking on Mauritius on Sunday to participate in 4-team tournament in Mauritius. Finally, legendary Kenyan boxer Justina Cheng faced off Fatuma Zakari in friendly boxing match at the Mombasa Women's Hospital. Reporting for TAS TV, I am Christine Musioka.
It's that time that we laugh our hearts out because too much work makes us all dull. Let's get the brain busters from Anthony Ombui Ogechi.
Okay, welcome back to our interesting but the brain busters, and my name is Anthony Ombui Ogechi. My father is an engineer. Niandikie kwa Kiswahili.
Engineer.
My father is an engineer. Niandikie hiyo sentence kwa Kiswahili.
It's about to go down.
Baba yangu ni fundi wa vyuma.
My father is an engineer.
Hey y'all, come look at this.
Babangu ni engineer.
My father is an engineer. Niandikie hiyo sentence kwa Kiswahili.
It's about to go down.
My father is an engineer. Babangu ni munda something.
Jina tai liko na maana zaidi ya moja. Maana ya kwanza ni gani?
Tai gani? Kuna tai mingi.
Jina tai liko na zaidi ya maana moja. Nipe hizo maana.
Tai sikumbuki. Tai ya kwanza ni ya kuvaa, alafu ya pili ni mnyama.
Oh my God! Wow!
Jina tai liko na maana mbili. Maana ya kwanza ni gani?
Tai. Tai ni ndege. Tai ni vazi linavaliwa na wanaume.
Wanawake wanavaa tai pia?
Linavaliwa na wote.
Yeah, boy.
Siku za mwisho tutapewa mabawa na tutaruka kama ndege wa angani. Niandikie hiyo sentence labda kwa Kizungu.
In the last days we will be given feathers and will fly to heaven. The last day we will be given wings and we will fly to heaven.
Yeah, boy.
Sunrise. Kwa Kiswahili watu tunasema sunrise ni nini? Kwa Kiswahili sasa niandikie kwa Kiswahili.
Hey y'all, come look at this.
Jua limechomoka.
Well, that brain busters marks the end of today's news recap. Remember, this is TAS TV. Share our content. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's meet same time, same place next week. God bless you. My name is LAVIN NYAGOWA. Video.
What's your name?
My name is Kevin Kakum.
Kitui Francis.
From which school?
Kenya Institute of Mass Communication.
Kenya Institute of Mass Communication.
What did you learn while at TAS TV?
Improvement of my skills in graphics, such as motion graphics, video editing, photography, also communication skills.
Camera operations, video editing, and improved my skills in graphic design.
Would you recommend anyone?
Yes, nilikuwa hapa TAS, skills zangu zili improve on communication with fellow co-workers and teamwork when doing certain projects.
Yes, new skills in photography. Communication, I have built more in communications through interaction with other colleagues or people outside there.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your attachment at TAS TV?
7.
8.
Generally, what would you say about TAS TV?
Wow, it's amazing being here.
I think this is the best place to be. Yeah.